Welcome back to another Battlefront update. The last major community transmission for the Geonosis update before its release this week was posted, and it's got a lot of juicy information that we've all been waiting for. Specifically the bug fixes, hero, and trooper changes. Which is what we're going to be focusing most of our attention in this video, as there's a lot of filler and recycled information in this community transmission that's already been covered before in the past transmissions. But given the small quantity of this update, being that we're really only getting one new map and hero, this is to be expected. Alright, with that all said, let's get into it. First off, the new hero coming with the update, Obi-Wan Kenobi, will cost 35,000 credits to purchase, while his roped epic appearance will be 40,000 credits or 1,000 crystals. And Kenobi's 212 attack battalion will be priced at 20,000 credits or 500 crystals each. It'll be available for all the classes but the officer, which sadly we will not be getting any armored officers as previously speculated or possibly hinted at by DICE in the Geonosis trailer. Although it should be said that it doesn't seem that DICE have written this off completely from coming later on in the future. So fingers crossed there. Meanwhile, the Shattered Grievous appearance as seen in the Geonosis trailer will be classified as a legendary and cost a whopping 80,000 credits or 2,000 crystals. So keep that in mind before you go on a spending spree. And speaking about the officer class, it's seen better days, as it's actually getting a nerf in the update. Most notably, the removal of movement impairing effects that would occur when affected by the flash grenade. And it doesn't end there, as the officer will also see a lower score gain from using the Inspiring Presence ability, as well the Blurg SC44C and the S5 being nerfed. So with DICE not giving officers an armored appearance and only nerfing them in the process still doesn't see most people ditch it for the other classes, then I don't know what will. It might just be me, but at this point it's becoming pretty evident that DICE want people to start playing more of the other classes than the majority of the lobby slugging it out as an officer. Sure, it made sense to do so in the early days of the game, but now, not so much given the nerfs. The next big changes in the patch notes are that to General Grievous, which we knew for a fact was getting fixed in this update, and thankfully it's not only small fixes, as DICE laid out an entire list of all the changes they made to Grievous, and not surprisingly, it's the most any hero is getting from the update. Such for example his most criticized ability, Unrelenting Advanced, which will now be useful, as being able to actually block incoming blaster shots from the front side, improved rotation speed, and increased damage, which will now definitely see Grievous be used far more on the battlefront. In addition to this, Grievous will also see positive changes to his Thrust Surge ability, as well with animation and miscellaneous UI fixes. All in all, Grievous will now be a more viable hero to use in a Galactic Assault setting, which couldn't be said before. Chewbacca is the next hero to see quite a number of changes from the update, but unlike Grievous, they're nerfs rather than improvements. So in quick summary, just a lot of reductions to his fire rate, stun time, number of shots possible, cooldown, and etc. Yikes. So clearly not the best news for Chewie players, but then again, it is good news for everyone else, as God knows Chewie needed balancing. About time. Other notable changes coming in the update include the stamina indicator for heroes, which will now be depleting instead of filling up. And this change, in my opinion, is something that should have been in the game since day one, as it just makes sense. Also, we'll see some big changes coming to the squad spawn system, like delaying the timer for squad formation until the game mode starts, and removing the in-combat effect for when players would be shooting without a target that always bugged the bejesus out of everyone. And let's not forget about the lone change to matchmaking, which should add a stability fix for end-of-the-round matchmaking for players playing with friends and parties. That's one I know a lot of people were getting annoyed with, especially concerning the end-of-the-round matchmaking system ever since it came out. And to end off of this transmission, there are also a lot of miscellaneous general changes and fixes included in the transmission, which is good to see some of them that have been bugged for a long time now and ignored in the past updates actually getting fixed now. I suppose that can be attributed to the increase of the Battlefront 2 dev team, you know, more people available to squash out those old bugs. Finally, with the Geonosis update, I know a lot of people are super hyped to play as Obi-Wan Kenobi, especially in his robed appearance. And that's great, but I, for whatever reason, wasn't ever a part of that hype train. Instead, I was waiting patiently for the General Kenobi appearance that will give Kenobi his outfit from the Clone Wars animated series. And that's to come out later in December. Well, as it would have it, this outfit has actually been leaked early and we now have a good image of how it will look like in the game. And all I gotta say is, whoa, does it look good? I don't know, maybe it's because I've always been a sucker for seeing different types of characters and elements from the Star Wars animated series make its way to live action. And granted, this isn't live action obviously, but it's the closest we'll ever get to see to a realistic rendition of the General Kenobi outfit. And seeing as we're getting this, which I should also note has now been confirmed to be released on December 12th, I think the chances of Anakin getting his Clone Wars outfit in Battlefront 2 are very possible now as well. I mean, they give one to Obi-Wan, they might as well give one to Anakin too, you know, it would only make sense. And to end this video on an even more positive note, Ben Walk's recent Twitter comment should also put the doubters in their place regarding the introduction of animated characters like Ahsoka Tano and Asajj Ventress coming to Battlefront 2, with Walk saying that a character doesn't necessarily need to be in a film in order to be added to the game. And if we take that and pair it up with Walk's other hints in regards to Ahsoka, Dennis Brandvold's past comments about adding these heroes to the game, and the Ahsoka Grievous voice lines already in the game, all I can say is don't be surprised to actually see Ahsoka and Ventress make their way to Battlefront 2 next year. Especially now with DICE's approach to reviving Battlefront 2 with Clone Wars content. But that'll do it for this Battlefront update. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel to not only support it, but keep up with Star Wars news, gaming, and canon lore released every week. And consider following me on Twitter and Facebook to never miss out on the latest Star Wars related content. Thanks for watching and may the Force be with you.